This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Welcome back. We're with, once again, with Andrea Stricker, who is the Deputy Director of the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, the Non-Proliferation Program. She's an FDD Research Fellow. She's an expert on nuclear weapons, proliferation, counter-proliferation, open source proliferation, and policy analysis. She knows Iran's nuclear program. Thank you very much. Good to be with you again, Andrea.
Oh, great. Great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, since you're the expert and you've read everything, President announces a deal. We're close to a deal, very close, 95% close to a deal. But what it's going to be, but it's going to be a good deal. But it's not fully negotiated. But where we don't have details yet. What does that mean, Andrea? Where are we? What do you think of what you read, what he said? Is there a deal? Is he trying to calm the markets? Is he trying to make a deal before the midterms? Is this political? And the great irony of, well, we'll get back the Strait of Hormuz. What do you mean? You had the Strait of Hormuz when this started. If you had done nothing, we were fine in the Strait of Hormuz. So the goal can't be getting back to ground zero, right? So tell us, where are we?
Well, according to the administration, 95% of a memorandum of understanding with Iran is agreed, with a few days likely needed to consult with the supreme leader on the final language. I think after a bit of an outcry yesterday from the more hawkish Trump loyalists, it sounds like the president is pumping the brakes and assuring people that he's not going to rush into a bad deal. So that's positive. They're also briefing close stakeholders in recent hours on the contours of the deal, I think to ease minds and make clear, for example, that there's no cash, U.S. cash going to Iran, no concessions or unfrozen Iranian assets, until Tehran takes concrete steps to open the Strait of Hormuz and follow through on the nuclear concessions. So bottom line, I think 30 to 60 days more of negotiations will be needed to actually lay out the nuclear steps, such as turning over enriched uranium, how long an enrichment ban will last, and then what has to be dismantled. But reportedly, per verbal commitments, Tehran has agreed to abandon the operation of underground nuclear sites, let the IAEA back in for inspections, and not develop nuclear weapons. So it could be going in the right direction, but again, the devil will be in the details.
Well, yeah, but you agree, these little details, I don't know that the devil is in the detail. I think the angels may be in the details on this one. They've agreed not to dispose of enriched uranium. Yeah. Who supervises? Is the IAEA or an independent agency actually there? Well, we agree we're not going to create a nuclear weapon. Yeah. And how do I know that's true? These are the main points. These are not details. And it gets me a little anxious when they start to say, oh, we have little details like, nuclear weapons and enriched uranium. That was the whole point.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to remember that if Iran is agreeing to give up their highly enriched uranium, their enriched uranium stockpile is quite more than just the 60% HEU. They have around 9,000 kilograms of uranium hexafluoride that's currently entombed in the Esfahan, Natanz, and Fordow sites. So are they required to turn all of that over? Just the 60% stock is enough for 11 bombs, and then the 5 to 20% stock is enough for 11 more. So if you're just removing the 60% stock, suddenly all that lower enriched material becomes a lot more attractive if the Iranians want to renege on the deal at some point, if we even get to a deal. And then also, are they required to permanently dismantle all of their uranium enrichment assets the facilities, the capabilities to manufacture centrifuges? Are they allowed to, for example, produce mass quantities of advanced centrifuges while a deal is in place? Because that would give them basically no technical restraint if once Trump leaves office and they want to overcome the restrictions. And they only need around 350 to 400 of their advanced machines to do a covert breakout to nuclear weapons. So when I say that the details matter, we don't want to leave any of this out and leave it to chance later, leave it to a future US president to have to deal with down the line.
Yeah, you have been consistent on that, and you are right. My fear is that politics is taking over, and the price is going up at the gas pumps. President's approval is going down. His own party is starting to turn on him. The Senate left without acting on a bill. That was something special that hadn't happened before. And I think he's starting to feel the pressure, and the temptation is then to make a deal and let's get out. So you keep watching, you keep reading the details, devil's angels, but you keep reading them. And when we actually see the facts, then we can determine whether or not it's a good deal or a bad deal. Andrea Stricker, thank you very much for being with us. Don't go away. Keep reading because we rely on your mind and knowledge of the facts. Thank you for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.